Staying with our structural settings dialog box, we're going to look now at the analytical model settings. Now, this particular tab is used to check the structural stability of your model as you design it by opening a warning box when you place a structural item incorrectly in the model. So you might place a beam in the wrong place, you might place a column in the wrong place, and it might not work. And Revit can tell you that, because as you design, this can sometimes become a real pain and become really cumbersome. So you select the ones that you want to use carefully. Now, there's a lot of settings in here, so please be careful with these settings. I don't tend to change much in these settings at all. Notice you've got automatic checks for member support and also analytical physical model consistency. So, for example, if member support is selected here, like so, and you place a structural column without a bearing footing or a pier, for example, a warning prompts you about what is called structural deficiency. So this could get quite annoying when you're placing an entire group of columns on a grid layout in Revit Structure. So what we do is we untick that most of the time. Normally it's common sense to know that you would have a pier or a footing underneath a column that is supporting a building. It's one of those things that if you're working with Revit Structure, it should really be second nature to you. You can also check for warnings later as well. In the Manage tab, if I just cancel this for the moment, and go back into Revit itself. If I go to Manage, what I can do is I can review the warnings. It's just down here on the Inquiry panel there. So if I click on Review Warnings, that will display a list of messages that I can either ignore or resolve. And while I'm working on the building model, these warning messages display when those issues crop up. So there's a lot of settings in Revit that you can use to your advantage. Let's go back to the Structure tab there and go back to the settings. Sometimes when you go into the dialog box, I need to save the project. That's standard in Revit Structure and all other flavors of Revit. So it'll just quickly do a save and then take me back to the dialog box. So let's go back now to our analytical model settings. There are also two tools in the Analyze tab. It's in the Analytical Model Tools panel. They are check support and consistency checks. So these are set up not in here in the dialog box. So again, I can cancel or click on OK if I'm happy with my settings. And then what I do is I go to the Analyze tab. And if we look at the settings in here, we've got things like Analytical Model Tools, where we can check our supports and do our consistency checks. We can also do an analytical adjust and an analytical reset on these settings in our analytical views in the model in Revit Structure. Basically, what it's trying to do is it's allowing you to check on the settings in the dialog box so that you know where to make adjustments in your model ready to export that analysis data.